Thank you so much. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to everybody watching us. Today I am especially delighted to participate in this press conference with the European Parliament's rapporteurs on the new EU rules to increase gender balance in companies. First word that comes to mind is finally. I think that today's adoption of the Women on Boards Directive is also a law that I will be particularly proud to put my name on when I sign it together with the Czech presidency of the Council tomorrow. This is a short piece of legislation, and it is all the more telling that we had to wait 10 years for it to happen. What more suitable than that could then finally adopt it on the 70th anniversary of this Parliament, which we are commemorating today. The Women on Boards Directive is just one piece of legislation, but it is an important one and a potential trailblazer. And I hope that with this one we have managed to at least put a proper crack in the glass ceiling, as I see this as the beginning, as the European beginning of the end of gender inequality. Let me also take this opportunity to express my thanks to so many, especially women, who have made this day possible, including those who have accompanied this file. Accompanied is a big word, this file from the beginning and through many ups and downs. Thank you for your perseverance, for your tenacity and ultimately your political willingness to fight. A special mention goes to my friends and colleagues, Evelyn and Lara. Evelyn, you have fought and worked hard from the very beginning to make this day come true. Lara, you have taken up this fight and continue to go through in this very important part of the legislature. Let's not wait another 10 years to take the next steps. Thank you.
Here we go. Thank you so much, Roberta, for joining us today. Thank you, Evelyn, for our great cooperation throughout all of this. Today, we finally close the chapter that was open for 10 years on a Women on Boards Directive in Europe that indeed will put a good crack in the glass ceiling. When I looked at the numbers around this, I thought it's almost like a maths riddle. We've got 60% of graduates from universities in Europe that are women, but out of every 100 CEOs in Europe, only 8 are women. And I think it's a maths riddle that we, as the European Parliament, have been trying to solve. And we've been trying to solve it in the name of fairness, in the name of equal opportunities, but also because there's problems with the current situation. The top of companies and boards as they are today are not a good reflection of our societies. Secondly, we're talking here about the very biggest European companies. We're talking about the heavy hitters. And if those big listed European companies impact on our societies, then our societies must also impact them. And I think that these quotas will have an effect beyond what is written on paper. It'll have effect beyond the boardroom, and it'll be a step in that long road towards genuine gender equality. It was said this is a piece of the puzzle. It won't solve everything. What we need for that is affordable and quality childcare, parental leave. We need part-time work to be accepted by and acceptable for men, and we need to tackle harassment and gender stereotyping. But it is a step in the right direction that I'm very pleased that we can take here today. After 10 years of obstruction by member states, I think after 3 mandates, 5 parliament rapporteurs and 21 council presidencies, here we are today. And I'm very pleased that we're going to be putting our signature to this legislation tomorrow. Thank you.
So, dear ladies and gentlemen, I continue. As President Metsola right now said, we finally did it. After 10 years, we've introduced the Women on Boards Directive, which will bring us one step closer towards to a more gender equal labour market in the European Union. 10 years. And it shows when there are hardworking women united, they never give up. And it takes some time, but as you heard, we did it. With this directive, we paved the way for fair and transparent hiring processes all over Europe and will give women the same chances of being recruited for the top jobs as men. And we now make sure that qualification matters and not informal networks. With this, we challenge power structures and hope to kick off a transformation of the European labour market. And in the future, thanks to this legislation, there will be more diversity on company boards. Companies are successful when they mirror the society. And companies, they will benefit, especially in our current times of crisis, inflation, and so on. So we need smart and competent women in top positions. We found a sound compromise. I mean, it's always about a compromise, without any exemptions and with consequences for those ignoring our legislation. This is necessary. So we witnessed that without binding rules and sanctions to help implement them, nothing might